Ben Doughty for the Voice of Boxing with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, rather interesting chain of events that has led to Anthony Joshua's American debut. A few weeks ago I saw a comment from you saying that there had been a certain amount of conspiracy by other parties to attempt to freeze Anthony Joshua out.
It's not really conspiracy, but more just like, I think, in the negotiations for several fights, I noticed that camps were talking to each other and telling people's the offers.
How much money they've been offered to
Yeah, and it's
you.
not really like, if I wanted a fight to be made and there was several people in the running for that fight and I was one of the opponents, I wouldn't be telling anybody what I've been offered. I'd be keeping myself to myself, trying to make the fight. And I just felt like some people were serious about making the fight, some weren't. Some wanted to disrupt the negotiation process of other fights. Some wanted to outprice themselves. Some wanted to make us pay more. So it's all standard boxing stuff, but people have just got to sometimes realise that it's kind of like AJ against the world. You know, that no one really wants him to get on in boxing. No one really wants us to get on in boxing. So there's a lot of boundaries that goes into making these fights.
I mean, you hold so many of the marbles, and I do think you're probably the most powerful promoter in the world, even at this stage. And yet, there seems to have been a backlash at this. Does it annoy you? Is it frustrating, the perception of people that you're avoiding people and etc. etc.?
No, I think the British mentality is they want you to do good, but not too good. You know, so when you get to a certain level, like you say, where you hold the marbles, people don't like that anyway. Full stop.
They loved you at first.
Yeah, because I was the young kid coming up trying to disrupt the system.
Yes.
Then when you get to the top of the system, you become very unpopular. But that's fine. That just comes with any business. If you're the little start-up shop on the high street, everyone's walking past you going, "Oh, good luck to you. I hope you do really well." Once you take over the high street and then set up a few superstores, you're Dr. Evil. You know, you become a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's. But that's all irrelevant because that's
doesn't bother you, does it?
No, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. But what does bother me is the criticism of Anthony Joshua without taking the time to look at his resume, look at the resumes of people that might be accusing him of stuff, and saying, well, look at him where we are after 22 fights. You can't do any more than he's doing. The one fight that hasn't happened yet, the one fight that's slipped through the net, is the Wilder fight. Only one fight. He's boxed everybody else that he's been mandatory to. He's had 2 unification fights. So I think he's going like a train after 22 fights.
And obviously there's claim and counterclaim with the Wilder negotiation procedure. They claim to have offered you $50 million. You said send me a contract. You never got one.
Correct.
Ben Davison told me you did make Tyson Fury an offer, but he said he didn't regard it as a serious offer because he thought it was a risible offer.
60-40.
60-40.
Correct. First of all, we spoke to Tyson Fury and he said, I don't want a percentage, make me a flat offer. So I made him a flat offer, which I felt was 60-40. Frank Warren came out and said they never offered a 60-40, so I went back to Tyson Fury and offered him in writing 60-40 split on that fight. It is a voluntary defence from a champion to a challenger for a hell of a lot of money. If you don't think 60-40 is fair in that respect, by saying it's 50-50 or nothing, all you're basically saying is we don't want to fight.
Yeah.
But you still get people who don't really understand anything about business or boxing going, just give it to him, take it, it's ridiculous. It doesn't work like that. So 60-40 was a fantastic offer and it wasn't good enough for Tyson Fury.
I know the original direction you wanted to go in was the Dillian White rematch. You saw that as being the April the 13th thing. You booked Wembley for it. And it appears, having found yourself in this situation where Dillian didn't want the fight either on the terms you offered, it seems to be a question that now you've seen the great advantages of going to America and you're just looking forward to that breaking through there.
It wasn't a part of the plan, to be honest with you. And obviously, DAZN launched.
Yeah.
We couldn't get the fights we wanted for the UK. Big Baby Miller was making some noise. The money was there. And we just looked at it and said, this is the time. And now we're really relishing it. I mean, he was there last week. They loved him. They're going to love him on June 1. We're going to have 10 or 15,000 Brits there. It's going to be sold out at Madison Square Garden. It's going to be a major event. And I think, this isn't about June or November. This is about, like he said, 10 years. I mean, he genuinely wants 10 years in the sport from now.
Yeah.
Undisputed champion, beating every heavyweight contender. So he won't be judged by someone saying, do it now, do this. We know what we're doing. And what that is, improving and beating everybody and growing the brand internationally. Fans don't want to hear about growing the brand. No. But we're promoters. This is what we do. And part of that brand is America. And this is just one of the first markets that he fights in. Not the last or not the second of 3.
And at least everybody's talking about the heavyweight division and things are really kind of healthy, aren't they?
Yes, and this is a good fight. And actually, when people criticise it, okay, Wilder and Fury fighting each other. Dillian White either didn't want the fight or we didn't offer enough money, whatever one you want to believe. So who else are you going to do? What about go to Madison Square Garden and fight a New Yorker in his backyard? Sounds good to me. So, you know.
I'm certainly looking forward to it. Thank you very much
Cheers,
for
mate.
making yourself available for Voice of Boxing, and be lucky, Eddie.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.